Hello there, Miss Shibley here with your skills lesson for today, and we are on Skills 6, Lesson 19. So today we are going to compare the letter N and what sound it makes. So sometimes we know it makes the N sound, and sometimes it makes the ng sound. So what I learned for today is I can expand short phrases in sentences with adjectives and prepositions. And we'll use adjectives and prepositions to produce simple written sentences. So that means if we have a word, we're going to add an adjective to it to describe it. Okay, and prepositions are those words that we use to say where we are going or where something is. The second thing you'll learn today is I can decode words with tricky spelling for N, for N and ng. And I can reread Grace a Performer and answer written short answer questions about the story. I can write an opinion piece based on details from the text. Okay, let's get started. Building phrases. So we're going to practice making longer phrases by adding descriptive words called adjectives to nouns. So our first word is cat. Say cat with me. Cat. We're going to add an adjective to make it more descriptive. Black cat. Okay, say black cat with me. Black cat. We can make it even more descriptive or describe the cat even more. And we can say the big black cat. Okay, and that's only a phrase because it's not telling you what the cat is doing. There's no punctuation. So it's only a phrase, not a full sentence. We're going to practice with some more. Our next word is rabbit. Okay, and we're going to add a descriptive word to that or adjective to it, and it's gray rabbit. And every time I add an adjective to this, I'm putting the new adjective in bold. That way you can see which word we added to it to make it more descriptive. So we could also say fluffy gray rabbit. And fluffy tells you how it feels. Gray tells you how it looks. In the first example, black and big both tell you how it looks. And remember, adjectives, we are using adjectives from our 5 senses. So we have taste, touch, feel, smell, and what you hear. Okay, our last one is class. Say funny class, and that's describing our class. We can see that they're funny or hear them if they're talking. And then our last one that we could add to it is large, funny class. But you could add any adjective to describe our class. Oh, we're going to build sentences now. That's so exciting. Okay, so we're going to build sentences with adjectives and prepositions. So we're doing this to make our writing more interesting. And we're going to start off by first figuring out which word in this sentence, the horse trotted, is our noun. And I'm going to go ahead and circle our noun. What do you think our noun is? The horse trotted. You're right, horse. A horse is either a person, a place, or a thing. Okay, now I'm going to put a squiggle line underneath our verb. And a verb is an action. So what is the horse doing? Or what did it do? You're right, it trotted. Okay, and do you think that this is a past tense, future tense, or present tense sentence? You're right, it is past tense because we have ed at the end of our word trotted. That is fantastic. Okay, now we're going to make the sentence a little bit longer by describing the horse. the large horse trotted. So now we're telling how big the horse is. Oh, and now we're going to make it even bigger. But we're going to keep that first part. The large horse trotted. But now we're going to add our preposition. Like, where did it trot to? We could say to the river, to the barn, to the starting line. Where's the horse going? The large horse trotted to the barn. Awesome job. Okay, now we are off to compare our tricky spelling for the letter N. Oh, before we do that, here's some more examples that you could practice on your own if you would like to. So they have a full sentence there, and you can add adjectives or prepositions. So Roger and Jack went to the zoo. You could say Roger and Jack went to the Utica Zoo, or Roger and Jack went to the hot zoo. Okay, you could do any of those, any of these sentences. Oh, look, number 4. The snake slithered by. You can say the small snake slithered by. You can do whatever you want to practice with these sentences, but these are just more examples. Okay, now on to our N. So on one side, we have the N sound. So N, A, P, F, un, nod. On our other side, we have the ing sound, like pink, drink, and bank. Do you hear the ing sound? It's a little different from the n. We have n and ing. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to practice that a little bit, because this has a tricky spelling because it could be pronounced either n or ing. But we're going to practice that a little bit more. The one on the left side is the more common way of saying this letter's sound. Okay, ready? We're going to go to 19.1. You're going to write your name and the date at the top. So the date is May 26th, 2020. Ready? Our directions say, sound out the words with the lines under them. Is the n sounded as n or as in nap, or ng as in pink? Okay, and if you don't remember, there's our little diagram at the top. And they did the first one for us. I am going to read the sentence and re-word or re-say the word that is underlined. And you're going to write it in the correct column. Ready? I'm hot. Can I have something to drink? And they have it in the ing column, drink. Okay, and if you know it, you can say it again yourself, drink. Okay, you're going to trace over that drink. Number 2. I can count to 10. And our word that we're looking at is 10. Does it go in n like nap, or ing like pink? Number 3. And you can pause if you need to. I will not sell it to you, but I will lend it to you. Did you hear the n or ing? If you heard n, you put it in this box. If you heard ing, you'd put it in this box. Number 4. When will this end? Did you hear the n or ing in the word end? Number 5. I need some cash. Let's drive to the bank. Did you hear n like nap, or ing like pink in bank? Number 6. At the park, we can have lots of fun. Did you hear n or ing? Let's look at our last one. Number 7. It is a nice gift. Thanks. Did you hear n like nap or ng like pink? Okay, let's check our paper. Let's see. Number 1 was done for us, so let's check number 2. I can count to 10. Oh, it made the n like nap. Number 3, I will not sell it to you, but I will lend it to you. Lend is n like nap. Number 4, when will this end? That is n like nap. Number 5, I need some cash. Let's drive to the bank. That one was the ng sound like pink. Number 6, at the park we have lots of fun, and fun would go in the n like nap. And our last one, it is a nice gift. Thanks. And the you hear thanks would go in the column like pink. And you could go ahead and correct yours and pause the video and make sure that yours is right. Okay, now we are on to our story. And I'm going to reread it. And we read it on Friday before Memorial Weekend. So we'll go ahead and read it again. So Grace the performer. Grace jumps out of bed and gets dressed. She slips on striped knee socks, green pants, and a green top. Next, Grace gets out her makeup. She rubs some white makeup on her face. Then she gets out red lipstick for her lips. She slips on a wig and pins a hat to the wig. The last thing she adds is a big red nose. Grace is getting dressed up to be a mime. There are lots of fun things to do at the park this week. Today, Grace will perform for lots of children. Her job will be to make all the children in the tent at the park smile. But she can't tell jokes. Mimes do not tell jokes. In fact, mimes do not use words at all. They have to keep mute at all times. That is what makes the job a hard one. But that is what makes the job a fun one too. Let's turn the page. Grace starts off with a bike trick. She stacks up a bunch of cups, then she jumps them with her bike. The children cheer and Grace honks her bike horn. Next, Grace grabs a rose and waves it at the children in the stands. Oops! It's a trick rose with a hose in it. Some of the children get wet. At the end of her act, Grace gets up on a rope. She takes 3 steps on the rope. Then she acts like she is slipping. Whoops! Grace slips and lands sitting on the ground with a clunk and a thump. But it is all part of the act. Grace has a big, soft pad rope to her back. The children cheer. They like the mime and her act. Mom, Dad, and Jill are sitting in the stands too. They clap and yell the loudest of all. Grace smiles and waves. She thinks it's fun to be a mime and perform. And that's the end of our story today. And we don't have any discussion questions because we answered them the last time we read the story. But we do have an activity page to do. So you will be taking out page 19.2. And at the bottom, it says the number 81. Make sure your pencil is sharpened. Remember, when we answer these questions, we put capitals at the beginning of our sentences. We capitalize our proper nouns, so that means the names of people, the names of places, and the names of things if they have a specific name. And we have punctuation at the end. We have our finger spaces in between our words, and we make sure our letters are touching the correct lines. Okay, name and date on top. So mine is Miss Shibley. And the date should say May 26th, 2020. Number 1, what is the job of a mime? And remember, I'm not going to give you the full answer. You're going to think about it a little bit, and you can go back in the video if you need to. So let's see. A mom's job is to make people smile, but they, and remember, but means that it's something that they can't do or it's something that's stopping them. So a mom's job is to make people smile, but what aren't they allowed to do? Don't forget to put a period at the end of your sentence. And if you need to go back, it was on page 50. Number 2. What tricks did Grace do to make the children smile? Grace did a bike trick, comma, a rose trick, comma, and a blank trick. So what could you write on that last line? What other kind of trick did she do? And if you don't remember, you could go back to page 50. And we put commas in between bike trick and rose trick and that last trick because we are listing things. We're listing her tricks. Okay, ready? I'm going to turn my page over. Number 3. Which trick did you like the best and why? This question is asking for your opinion. And remember, when you are writing an opinion piece, you should state your opinion, so what you think, why you think that way, and have a conclusion for your thoughts. So I gave you some sentence starters that you can use, but it's your opinion. I can't tell you which trick you like the best.